I might just get done as much as I can get done and leave it there. And I'm really sorry, guys, but that might be what it is. Hey Puzzle Buddies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something very cool. We're trying out a puzzle from a new brand. This is a puzzle from Impuzzle. They actually currently have a Kickstarter going, and they were kind enough to send me a prototype of their season 2 puzzle. So this is what we're working on today. And it's 1,000 pieces, and I'm really excited to get this one open and see how I like it. The thing is, this is a 1,000 piece puzzle, and I have 48 hours to get this done. Really more like 8 hours because I have like tonight and tomorrow night. Because I need to edit and then get this posted. So we're going to see if I can power through this in the next 2 evenings and get this thing done. I am determined. Theoretically, I think we can do it. Y'all know usually a 1,000 piece puzzle takes me like a week or 2. So we'll see. All right, so I went ahead and took off the plastic wrap from it. And when this was shipped, it actually came in a cute little box. Just kind of like a regular mailer box, but they did have nice like branding on it. And in fact, I kept this off of it because I ended up needing to use the box for something. But anyways, this is what the puzzle looks like once we get it out the plastic. And there is like a sheet on the back of it. So on this side, it tells us who the artist is. It's by, forgive me, Koei Ryan. It says a little bit about how the artwork came to be, and then it tells us a bit about the puzzle itself. So let's see. The impuzzle prototype project is the first limited print run of prototype puzzles. I'm looking to get these puzzles into the hands of folks who want to help promote impuzzle and help us reach the final goal of impuzzle becoming a puzzle company. The plan is for folks to do the puzzle. Okay. Inside the box are 2 prints to help with the puzzle. That's good. On the back, I'm hoping people will comment and date it like a yearbook entry, and then submit about sharing on social media. These impuzzle prototypes are exactly the same as the final version. The die will change to include some unique pieces, such as the hockey player. People who receive these prototypes will also receive a copy of Impuzzle Season 2 when Impuzzle reaches full production, so that's really cool. And then it says, spoiler alert, on the back of this card is a list of hidden objects. Ooh. And then the prototypes are very limited and hand numbered, so I have numbered 27 out of 55. And like I was saying, on the back, we do have a bit about the artists themselves. They're from Vietnam. And then this is the list of like hidden objects in the puzzle, so that's really fun. And then like it mentioned, it did come with this deck of playing cards, and y'all know I love playing cards, so this is actually pretty cool. There is a QR code for the Kickstarter, and then the deck of cards, I have number 20 of 35. And then we have 2 stickers, so cool. And this is what the back of them looks like. Ooh, okay, so inside the box, we have, again, mine is 27 out of 55. Got 2 of these, and we have, this got to be the poster, right? Yes, we have 1 poster and then 2. All right, so it seems like the front of the box is like pretty much the exact same as the poster itself, which is good because y'all know sometimes the box will be like here and then the whole image is here, but it seems like the lid has pretty much the whole thing. Then we have not 1 but 2 little cloth bags. They're also different sizes. Not quite sure what that's for, but okay. Then here we have, oh, wait a minute. Okay, here we have the pieces. And then there are some stickers in here. We have like their business card. Todd Wooten is the owner. More stickers, more stickers. So I guess if you're puzzling with someone else, they also get stickers, which is cool. Another card, and then, am I supposed to open these? You know how sometimes puzzles have like a secret thing at the end? I don't know if I'm supposed to open this or if I'm supposed to wait. So I think I'm gonna wait and come back to that. And a pen. Okay, so this is super nice. And then I think this is just another copy of what was on the back of the box. So lots of goodies in the box itself. Okay, as we can see, this is a pretty busy image, which I do like, but it might be a bit hard to sort out. So I think my game plan, especially because I need to get this done as quickly as possible, I think I'm going to do as much sorting as I possibly can. I think I can sort out like the red and white flags, and then maybe I can figure out like this submarine situation. Maybe I can get the boat and then this other boat. I don't know. Listen, we're gonna just kind of go with the flow, figure it out. Also, this is very cute. All these little dudes, and then there's aliens, and there's these like teddy bears, and this one looks like a little Lego character, which is pretty cute. So The image looks fun, which means it should be fun to puzzle, because you know sometimes if you're puzzling something that like isn't interesting, it kind of drags on. But this is cute, so I'm going to just start sorting and see where we end up. Okay, so I just spent about the last hour sorting. Is this like the best sort I've ever done? No, but I sorted, so let me just show you what we've got. So this is what my puzzle table looks like right now. Here we have the edges, okay? Here we have the pieces that are like smoke from like the explosions or whatever. This one is grass. These are the whimsy pieces. They are so cute. Like, I love this little potato guy. And then this is the hockey player that the piece of paper is talking about. And there's a couple pieces that just say like impuzzle cut out. I think it's very cute. These are the like little teddy bear, hamster, mice things. Pink/purple. Just if it had pink or purple on, I just put it here. These are like wood. So I have light brown and then dark brown. This is vaguely water/lily pads or something. This is the red that is, let's see, that is this thingamajigger. And then we have, who are you? These are like the light grayish kind of, it's like it's not wood, it's like something else, which means that it's either, let's come back, it's either this little ship or it is this ship right here. Then we have the red and white for the flags. These are like the like kind of bright bluish pieces that I believe go inside of this ship. And then over here are just a couple of like the pieces that attach to the whimsy pieces. Like you can tell because they are cut kind of, you know, kind of weird. Oh, and then here I just picked these two out. This one is like, there's like a random like Lego or something in the middle. And then this is the one that I said looks like a Lego lady. And she goes there. So I saw her, so I just left her to the side. And then this is the miscellaneous pile. I don't have anything else to say. These are the pieces that if I could not look at it and pretty much immediately say, oh, this probably goes to XYZ, I just put them to the side and it ended up looking like this. So I'm kind of proud because I did in fact touch and sort and flip every single piece. Also, actually husband helped flip probably like at least a third of these, so that was very nice. But everything got sorted more or less. The miscellaneous pile we just aren't going to talk about for a while. About the puzzle, there are like a variety of piece shapes. One, there's those whimsy pieces, which is very cool, and then there are like the pieces that go around the whimsy pieces, so they're kind of weird looking. But we have like different piece shapes. We have the, you know, regular 2 in 2 out. We have the ones at the cather corner. We have the 3 outs, 1 in, different piece shapes, so that's good. The pieces are pretty glossy. Not crazy, but they're glossy. I will say the print on the pieces, one looks pretty good, pretty like nice and clear. Obviously, it's like a illustration painting kind of thing, so it is a bit sketchy. What am I trying to say? Y'all get what I mean. Another positive I will say is that the print on the pieces, like color-wise, does match the poster. Y'all know sometimes the poster is darker than the pieces or vice versa. I would say that the print on the pieces does pretty much exactly match the posters, so that is also very good. We are about ooh, girl, don't do that. Okay, we are about 1 hour into the like 3 or 4 hours I had to dedicate to this tonight. I'm gonna try to get a lot of this done. So wish me luck. All right, y'all, we are on the random spot on the floor because little one is asleep in the office. But let me tell you how things went yesterday. I did in fact start off by trying to put together the little hamster gerbil mice thing. And I was getting like the 2 of them. I could kind of figure out like which pieces went to which one, but there were some pieces I couldn't quite tell which belonged to which of the hamster things. So I worked on those for a few minutes and then just kind of put them off to the side. Then I went ahead and started working on the border. Mind you, I had all the pieces on the table in front of me. And I do typically kind of do that with like a 500 piece puzzle because I'm just like, you know what, just have everything in front of me and just grab what I need, blah, blah. It's a 1,000 piece puzzle. It was too much. I was finna make a mess for no reason. So I ended up using the like lid of the impuzzle box for the miscellaneous pieces. And then I pulled out a couple of trays to put the other pieces on. And I just left like some of the piles on the table. I was working on the border and I was trying to work on like the most identifiable pieces first. Like I was working on the grass corner and then like the little parts of the ships that go up against the edge. But then once you do all of that, all that's left really is just like water and lily pads. And there's really not a whole lot to go off of. So I ended up just spending a lot of time just like lining up all the pieces and just trying to see what went where. Also, I realized as I was doing this that almost all of the border pieces are either two ends on two, yeah, two ends on both sides or two outs on both sides. I only saw like a couple pieces that were like one in, one out, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's typical. Like that's something I've never paid too much attention to, but that was something I noticed. Finally, I got the border done. I was missing a few pieces, but overall it was done enough. Once I had the border basically done, I decided the first section I was going to work on was the alien ship off to the left. Also, I looked at the puzzle, right? But this was the first time I really like was paying attention to what was happening on this image. This is a war zone. We are puzzling a battle scene. There is I don't know what they are, like little mushroom people. There's little mushroom people who are, I guess, on the same side as the gerbils. And then there's these aliens. And the aliens are attacking the little gerbil people. What do I call them? Mushroom people? Anyways, I started off with the alien ship off to the left, and I had all the red pieces because it's mostly red, and so I like laid them all out. And then after I laid them all out, I was like, what do I do from here? Because there really isn't like a whole lot to go off of other than like this red piece has a little scuff, this red piece has another little scuff. So I worked on it for a little bit. I kind of gave up and I said, you know what, I will work on the dome, the like window of the little alien ship. And so that was a bit easier because there are much more details to work off of. Like there's a pipe here, there's a wire there, that kind of thing. So I was doing that and I was kind of making progress, kind of not. And then I remembered that the ship goes up against the border. And so some of the pieces that I was looking for were in fact already attached to the border. So I moved everything to the side, got a little bit more working. Then I kind of went back to the red pieces. And now that I had more to work off of and was like, starting to get more familiar with the image, it was going a little bit more smoothly. Whatever I had left of the reds of the left ship, I put on a tray and then I dumped out the red and white like flag pieces from the ship in the middle. Again, once I was laying them all out, I was like, this is just a whole lot of like red and whatnot. So I thought that I would just go based off of the white pieces. Like I would just like use the white as my base to get everything together. I was able to pull out the patches that are on the sails, got those together. And then I was just going back and forth with all the white pieces. The sails do have like the lines from like where it's creased. So I was kind of going based off of that. Was making some progress, was kind of not making some progress. And this is where I would say that the fit of the pieces was starting to get a bit annoying. It's not the loosest fit that I've ever come across, but the fit is kind of loose. I had a pretty good thing going. I had like most of the flags together and then so at least like the white parts, and so I started putting in more of the red pieces so that way things would start to connect a bit more. And before I knew it, I kind of had the flags pretty much done, which was really cool. I was glad that I finally had like a solid section like mostly done. And then I had like a couple pieces in the reds that actually went to the ship, the alien ship off to the left. So I kind of moved those to the side, put some of those in. I knew that the little hamster guys had to go on the ship, so I kind of got them in place for the most part. I did, I think, attempt to work on the little like puffs of smoke from where like the cannonballs are and like there's an explosion in the right corner. I kind of did those. I kind of had some pieces I wasn't quite sure where they went. Then I think I kind of started trying to work on the like gray of the ship to the like top left and the bottom right, because they're basically the same. And I kind of started working on them, kind of gave up on them. I was like, try something else. So I pulled out the like purpley pink pieces. Those went together fairly easily. There's only but so much pink and purple on the puzzle. So I did those, pretty much got those in place. And then from there, it was kind of like, well, I don't really know what to do. There really are only but so many little green aliens, and so I kind of ended up going back into the miscellaneous box, just kind of like picking and placing the little green alien bits. And honestly, it was pretty easy to figure, like once you pull out a piece, it was pretty easy to figure out which alien it went to. And so I got a lot of those, and I think I got pretty much all of the aliens put together. And so that is where I ended up finally pretty much calling it a night. I got, like I said, I think about a third of the puzzle done, which is like pretty decent for me, especially for a 1,000-piece puzzle in one night. That's pretty good. So I am like happy about that, but also I got a lot more to do. Like I said, baby is asleep. So I have like an hour and a half that I can work on it some more. And then I think Grandpa's coming, so I might have like a little bit more time I can work on it. And then there's tonight. So I think between all of that, I should hopefully be able to get the puzzle done. So I'm going to see what I can get done. All right, you guys. So I worked for a few. Okay, don't mind. I don't know if you can see it, but like there's the trash can and things in the background. Listen, it's still daytime, as you can see. So things have to be up because little one. Anyways, so I worked for like an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours after I last checked in when little one was napping. And so I went ahead and did a couple rounds of like picking through the miscellaneous box and pulling out mushrooms, like the mushroom people. I got those pretty much all placed without too much difficulty. And then once I was kind of done looking for mushroom people, I went ahead and started trying to work on the like wood of the main mushroom people boat. But I'm not gonna lie, I got bored and or like I just didn't want to do it. I really didn't. So I moved on from the wood to the ship, like the alien ships, the gray ones. And I was mostly working on the one at the top left. And I had like these little sections and like random pieces just like thrown up there. So I was kind of moving them around, trying to make sure that I had them like at least mostly in the place that they were supposed to be. And once I had the little loose sections kind of generally where they should go, things started moving a little bit more smoothly. I was starting to get some more pieces connected and everything, so it was doing good. Then I kind of ended up going back to the red tray because I only had but a handful of pieces left. Got some of those in. I don't think I made too much progress there, but I was kind of like working with it. Then I went back to the miscellaneous box. And at this point, pieces are like starting to look recognizable because, you know, at first, like you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know, like you just don't know. But at this point, like I'm looking in the box, I'm like, okay, this is probably a piece of this or a piece of that. So I was able to pick out a good little handful of pieces and kind of get them in. I even found one missing edge. And now that I've been working and I found out that edge, and that's the only edge that I've seen as I've been looking in the miscellaneous box, I'm pretty certain that the side borders are wrong. Actually, wait, no. Does that go up top? Oh, did I just solve my own problem? Oh. So I had the border, and like this piece is the one I found, I think, but I'm almost certain that this just goes here and it's done. But I had these two pieces over here and I wasn't sure where they went. But at some point, and we'll talk about it, I had like shifted this whole border to the side to line some things up. And so now I'm almost certain that these just, yep, that's the problem. I just had them on the completely wrong border. So, okay, that is fixed. I think the border actually is done now. I think, okay, yes, okay, border is done now. Like I was saying, I found the edge and now we've gotten that worked out. But I also was kind of finding more little bits of mushroom people. That is about as much as I got done during nap time. And then, by the grace of God, Grandpa came because that child, getting on my nerves, he has been yelling at me all day long. He wants a cracker, I give him the cracker, he's yelling about the cracker. I gave him more cracker, he yelled about the cracker. He was yelling so much and crying that the cracker he had in his mouth fell out. Now he's mad he doesn't have the cracker in his mouth. Moving on. Grandpa has the child. At this point, I'm like, I think I really don't have much of an option but to shape sort because I just have a lot of pieces and I really just don't even know where else to start. So I ended up shape sorting and I started off with the grays and I moved on to the brown, like the wooden brownish tray that I had. After I shape sorted, I realized that literally like 95% of the pieces were just 2 in 2 outs. And then there were just a couple of like the other shapes. So shape sorting, it's not giving me too much help because there's only but like 5 pieces that aren't just 2 in 2 outs. So it doesn't really help me, but at least they're all lined up, I guess, kind of, sort of, maybe. Since then, I've just been trying to work on the browns. I ended up kind of pulling out the gray tray again and kind of working with the brown tray and the brown tray and the gray tray at the same time. I think some of the textures kind of overlap a bit, so I think maybe like some of the gray bits might actually be brown and I'm just not quite seeing it yet. I feel like I've done a lot, but when you take a step back and look at the puzzle, I feel like I have maybe like 50%, if not 60% still left to do. And most of it's just brown and blue and or green. So I don't know. Again, the goal is to get this done today/tonight, but I might just get done as much as I can get done and leave it there. And I'm really sorry, guys, but that might be what it is. I am going to keep trying, though. I'm going to try to finish it. In other news, literally while I was filming a few minutes ago, we hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys, I am literally so appreciative. I'm so excited. This is awesome. This is so cool. This is so cool. First off, thank you guys for watching, for subscribing, for being here. We hit 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing. But yeah, I already have a video planned in my mind for 1,000 subscribers. I already have some things in mind, so y'all will see that relatively soon. What I'm going to do is going to take me some time, but I feel like y'all will enjoy the video whenever it comes out. So I'm going to work on that at some point, and I'm gonna get back to this, and we'll see how it goes. I was working on the browns and I was getting some sections in the right place, but it was very, very slow progress. But I was just chucking away, trying at it. And then husband ended up coming over and he helped. And honestly, he got quite a few pieces in. He stood around for, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes. And he was putting in work, okay? He got in a few pieces, I guess, especially because he had like fresh eyes. It was easy for him to just like see a piece and, you know, kind of figure out what was going on. So he helped for a bit, and then we like went and like had dinner and all that stuff. So we came back after we put little one to bed, and husband agreed to help me because, like y'all know, I said I was gonna work as much as I could work, and I was gonna let it go. But he said that the two of us, we could finish it together. In fact, he said that we could finish this in 2 hours or less. I was skeptical, but he was convinced. So I said, okay. We started right around 7:30. We put little one to bed early today because he was tripping. But we started at about 7:30, and we went straight to work. He was mostly focusing on that, and I was kind of just doing whatever. I had the trays. I would like work on the tray, see if I could get some pieces in, and I would go to a different tray, try to work on that one. I just kind of kept going back and forth for a while. He was mostly kind of working out of the box that was mostly miscellaneous pieces, or like sometimes I would pass in pieces that I was like kind of sure went to the pirate ship, the mushroom ship. He was just putting his pieces just like loose on the table, which is fine, but I kept offering him a tray because I was like, do you want a tray to help you like hold the pieces, whatever? And he said no. But we just kind of kept passing pieces around to each other. And then he was kind of finding pieces that went to some other sections. I was kind of finding some pieces that went to the ship. We were just like reaching over each other, sometimes just passing pieces to each other once we found them. Whatever worked in the moment, just trying to do our best to get it done. And then at some point we had, I don't know, maybe like 20 or so pieces of like stuff, like ship or somebody's ship or something that we had left, but we just could not figure out where they went. So finally we decided to go ahead and pull out the blue pieces. So I just kind of grabbed them all and put them on a tray, and I just kind of had them out in front of us. And once I had them all in front of me, it honestly wasn't quite as scary. Some of the pieces did have like a little piece of this or a little piece of that did help to let me know like where they went. And then eventually we only had just a few pieces of just blue and or lily pads. We were kind of struggling a bit. Also, I had 2 pieces up at the top in that like grass section that I could not figure out where they went. In fact, I was convinced that I had just 2 random pieces to a different puzzle, honestly. I had a piece of like a beetle in the wrong spot, and that was throwing off everything. So turns out all the pieces I had do in fact go to this puzzle, and that was about it. And now we are done. I saved all the little whimsy pieces for last because I just think they're so cute. In fact, the potato was my favorite. I don't know why, but I think that potato is so funny. We do have a little sheet that was telling us about like all the hidden objects that we could try to find in the puzzle. I did like look it over, and I do recall like, I'd say like 60% of these. There are a few that I don't quite remember seeing, but also I don't think I'm gonna sit here and look for them. I do think it's nice that it comes with like this kind of extra like second puzzle you can solve, you know, trying to find all the little hidden objects. I think that's fun. Oh, but we do still have this sealed envelope. There are 2 of them. I'm just gonna open one. What is this? Okay, honestly, I'm not sure. It's 2 of their like business cards, perfectly fine. And then there's 1 playing card that's like signed and it says 1 of 1. It's cool. I'm just not sure what it's. Maybe it's something that I missed. Hold on. I'm not sure, but I'll keep it. Overall, this puzzle had some good things going for it and some not so great things. I think the image is very cute, and it's kind of cute because like a couple of little mushrooms have little booties out. Like some of them have like fallen. It's like their pants are falling off. So they have their little booties, and then like there's this little like squid man. I think they're supposed to be like the characters from Pirates of the Caribbean, because there's the guy that looks like Jack Sparrow and the Squid Man. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I think the addition of whimsy pieces is really nice. I think maybe Magic Puzzle Company. I think maybe Magic Puzzle. Oh my gosh. I think that maybe Magic Puzzle Companies. Magic Puzzle Company puzzles. I think maybe Magic Company. I think that maybe the puzzles from the Magic Puzzle Company might have a couple like whimsy pieces or something, but I do know oh, okay. I think that maybe the puzzles from the Magic Puzzle Company have a few like whimsy pieces. I don't really remember, but I do know that it's something that I don't come across very often. So having a couple of whimsies was really cute. There's a lot of like thought and intention into like the packaging and stuff. So I also enjoy that. But there is the loose fit and then like how shiny the pieces are. I did see on their Instagram, I think it was their website actually, that they have gotten this feedback from other people that the puzzle is a bit too loose and it's a bit glossy. So they were saying that they do plan to like work on this. That way in the future, they won't have the same issue with the puzzles. So hopefully this won't be as much of an issue in the future. Also, maybe this answer is obvious, but I cannot think of one. I'm still not sure why there are 2 cloth bags and why they're different sizes. Is the answer obvious? Why are there 2 different sized bags for the pieces? Did this just kind of happen, or is there some kind of reason behind this? If someone has an answer, I would legitimately like to know if you have one. I think that is all that where are my glasses? Okay. I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing. Y'all, like I said, we hit 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing. I do have something planned. Just wait on it. It's coming, I promise. I will have the link to impuzzle's Instagram as well as their website in my description box, along with the link to my Amazon storefront and my vintage store if you want to take a look around. Again, shout out to husband for helping me finish this puzzle, because I'm telling you, I was not sure if this puzzle was going to get complete. But once we started working together, it went pretty smoothly. We had music playing. He was figuring things out, is helping me figure things out. We worked together well, so thank you to him. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like, come on, go ahead and subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.